All right, bro. Let's get serious right now, bro. Let's get serious right now. Joel Embiid is going to miss very significant time due to a knee injury that he suffered recently. I believe it was after the Golden State game, but correct me if I'm wrong on that in the comment section down below. Y'all are gonna do it anyways. And I want to have a discussion today about Joel Embiid and his future. You know, because I feel like a majority of the discussion so far this year has been about this MVP award, but all of a sudden, in literally a matter of 2 weeks, the discussion has gone from is the award just fair or not to, bro, there is a bigger problem to the 65 game rule, and that is actually you know, the outcome of this making load managing worse, like tackling that problem and making it worse. Let me go ahead and show y'all this video from Gil's Arena. Shout out to Gilbert Arenas, man. I know we like to critique their takes, Rashad's takes on this platform, but at the end of the day, I really fuck with their platform. Hopefully that doesn't get taken out of context. Gilbert Arenas begs Joel Embiid to shut it down. Now, this is an interesting discussion because we also had it on the podcast last night on Let's Keep It a Buck. Did the 76ers ruin Joel Embiid's career is the question, but let's go ahead and see what Gil has to say, bro. Before we move on, I just want to shout out the sponsors of this video, Prize Picks, my favorite way to play daily fantasy sports. All you got to do is sign up for an account, download their app, go on their website, and pick your favorite sport. NBA, NFL, NHL. We're going to go with NBA today. They got popular picks up here, but let's go ahead and go to points. Let's see what they got today. I got to give Jalen Brunson some love, man. He's been balling out lately. I think he can get more than 32.5 points. That is a high bar, but I trust him. Got the Minnesota Timberwolves facing the Chicago Bulls today. Ant at 26.5 points. Hey, give me 28, man. Give me 28. I think he can get more. I think he can get more than 26.5 points, man. And essentially, the way the game goes, if Jalen Brunson gets more than 32.5 points, and if Anthony Edwards gets more than 26.5 points, and I put in, let's say, $8, I have a chance to win $24 at the end of this. Let's go ahead and do that. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you place an entry. And if you guys want in on the action, thanks to our friends over at Prize Picks, you guys can use code SLZ to get a 100% match on your first deposit of up to $100. Links for all of this will be down below. Shout out to Prize Picks for sponsoring this video. And back to the video.
Rashad, I'll start with you. Should Embiid shut it down for the season or try to make a comeback for the playoff? Let's say best case scenario, he's out 4 to 8 weeks, looking to come back some point late March, early April.
If he can come back, you know, more power to him, but I think everyone knows that this is something that he should take into consideration for long term. So shut it down. Wait for next year. You know what I'm saying? You had a good run, good year. And I think, you know, piggybacking on what Charles Barkley was saying, it's like sometimes you have injuries. You know what I'm saying? The 65 game is a new rule they put in, and then you got injured past the threshold of that number.
I will say at this point that MVP award is chopped, dog. I ain't gonna lie. That MVP award is chopped. Like, and the only reason is because even prior to this injury, he only had 5 games to miss. If he's gonna miss 4 to 6 weeks, and we'll get into that as well because there's been a lot of Twitter doctors, well, actual doctors, on Twitter, not just random motherfuckers thinking they're doctors, believing that this injury is, if anything, it's way more serious than it actually is. So, I mean, he might be out, or what the doctors are saying is that he should be out for way longer than just 4 to 6 weeks. But, yeah, that MVP is chopped. It's gotten to a point where, bro, I don't give a fuck what numbers Embiid ends up averaging this season. If Embiid is going to max out at a 40-game season, 50-game season, it's chopped, bro. I'm sorry. At that point, I gotta look elsewhere. I gotta give credit to, you know, a Giannis putting up 30, 13, 6, DPOY level defense on crazy efficiency while having a top 4 record in the league. I gotta look at a SGA. I gotta look at a Jokic at that point. I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. Like, even I'll say even if the rule did not exist, type shit, I would not look at Embiid at this point if he's out for the season.
It's unfortunate because if that number is not there and you still got injured for a certain period of time, it's going to be unfair for the guy who didn't get injured and that's putting up equal numbers or whatever. It's like, oh, just because you hurt and you put up these numbers up until this point, don't mean you automatically win the MVP.
Yeah.
So it's like for a guy like Shea or a guy like Ant or a guy like Brunson, any of these guys is like trying to put up numbers, not necessarily trying to win an MVP, but they're just hooping and they're not injured.
Yeah.
So it's like this dude get injured, he's out 25 games. It's like you don't just give it to him just cause.
I mean, and they don't really have a chance to really win it. So I mean, I would just get my body.
That I disagree, bro. And maybe this is a hot take, and maybe this is, Albert Einstein's theory of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again, bro. But I legitimately gave up on the Sixers and Joel Embiid after last season. For real. But with the way Embiid improved this season, I'm not gonna lie, Tyrese Maxey having the come out party that he's having, giving a new dynamic to this team. Even if we talk about like off court morale shit, like the team is just vibing better this season from what I'm seeing. And this is the most important part to me, is having a championship winning coach in Nick Nurse and seeing the effects of his philosophy immediately in a positive way. With the Bucks having Doc Rivers and already having coaching problems prior to signing him, and personnel issues in the backcourt with backcourt defense, Dame not looking not looking like superstar duper star Dame yet at the very least. And the Celtics is as good as they are. It's the Celtics. As a Celtics fan, we know what that means. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, bro. Like, I think the East is a two-headed monster right now within the Celtics and the Bucks, but those two-headed monsters aren't like unbeatable ass teams, So I just disagree with Brandon Jennings there. Now, is this opening enough for them to risk Joel Embiid's future? Is this opening enough to not shut down Joel Embiid if the injury is serious as shit? I don't think so. I don't know what the fuck is gonna happen next year, but I don't see the landscape of the NBA changing so much to the point where next year there's gonna be this unbeatable juggernaut that the 76ers just don't have a chance of taking down. So, nah. But this year, I legitimately think the Sixers have a chance. They have a chance. Is it a puncher's chance more so than a legitimate chance? Yes, but they got a chance, bro. They got a chance.
You're right. Be healthy. Everybody know what he can do. So, I mean, it's not like they're favorites to win it all. So
right.
It's kind of like,
would just be for the MVP if he did.
No, he can't win the MVP. It's over.
Yeah.
Like it's over. So there's no point in coming back, right? I mean, I don't care if you got to think about it as a player, right? We heard him say he didn't want to win MVP. Obviously, words in the media is different, right? We're gonna say everything politically correct.
Right.
His actions said otherwise. His actions said, "Shit, the time's ticking down. I gotta collect these games, right?" Because you put a number on it, it's an accolade, right? It's an incentive, right? And once incentives come into play, men are selfish. People are selfish, right?
Facts.
It doesn't. This has nothing about team anymore. Because if I was hurt,
that is true. That is true. And I don't even think it's a men thing. I think it's just a human thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't even have to be anything major. But if you know you're close to reaching a certain achievement, if you know you're close to achieving this thing, whatever the fuck it is, and you only got to do this little much, fuck it, I'm gonna push for it. You know what I'm saying? On the podcast today, we even talked about Tony Snell and him, trying to get that 10-year veteran lifetime health insurance for his family. We can have the conversation about, if he deserves it or not. But if I'm Tony Snell and I'm in Tony Snell's position, and I'm that close to getting lifetime healthcare insurance for my family, I'm at least attempting it. Like deadass, I'm at least attempting it. As a man who has to provide. Those parallels might not be 1-to-1, but the point still stands, bro. Once you're close to something, bro, fuck it. Let's try to do it. If I have to compromise on this thing, take a chance at this thing, but I'm this close, fuck it, we ball.
hurt and I'm lingering, why am I coming back now anyway? The only reason I'm coming back
talk about it.
is because the incentive you just put in, right? Before, I would have got healthy enough to play for the team and then move forward. So with you, in a sense, forcing me to sit here and think about team or self, I'm going to think self every single time. Because it's self now. It's self of the MVP, the scoring champ, and first team, right? That is 3 entities that it is hard to get all together in one. Right. So therefore,
I will say this: at the beginning of these conversations, I was very, bro, with 65 games, bro. Like, goddamn, you can't expect motherfuckers to play 80% of the games. But the more and more I think about it, especially because there's incentives involved with all NBA selections, the 65 game rule, in my opinion, should only exist for the superlative awards, the MVPs, the DPOYs, Rookie of the Years, all of that. And there should not be incentives attached to those awards. I'm fine with incentives being attached to all NBA selections, me personally. But even that is kind of I'm fine with that existing, but the 65 game rule has to go. Why? Is because at the end of the day, when these contract negotiations come up, or renegotiations, extensions, whatever come up, it should, in theory, and I do believe it should be this way in actuality, it should only be based off of your market value. That's it. It should only be based off of your market value. And the only differentiating factor would be, I really like the rule with the NBA of, you know, if you drafted this team, bird rights, all of that, you have a chance to offer more than other teams. I like that rule, but that cap should not be capped off because, let's say, Tyrese Halliburton doesn't make All-NBA his last season, so now he's not qualified for a Supermax, but in actuality, with the value of Tyrese Halliburton and what he brings to that team, and him being the franchise cornerstone of that team moving forward, now he's out $40 million. $40 million. I think that's another thing too, bro. I swear to God, it's because motherfuckers play 2K all the time. It's because these numbers just get thrown around left and right within sports that like we don't comprehend it. But $40 million. I understand taxes gotta get taken out. You get $40 million and miss out on it. And see how you fucking act. 40 mil? 5. Let's cut it down by 8 times. 5. You miss out on 5 mil pre-tax. So 3 post-tax, goddammit. Because motherfuckers telling me that. No, don't forget about taxes, BSOLZ. Okay, 3 post-tax. And you miss out on it because you got injured on company time? Nah, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Fuck the team, it's about me. Mm-hmm. So now that I can't get it, do you think that I'm gonna get healthy and come back for us to win the championship? You think I'm gonna be happy that these other people is gonna win awards I earned? Losing the extra weight, getting in shape, everything I did, and I played 61 games. Because 61 games with what I was doing, that is an MVP still.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Right? But now I can't win it, and, you know, Joker or Shea's going to get it. You know, first team is going to go to Joker. The scoring title is going to go to Shea now or whoever. Or, I mean, Jokic now. I mean, Luka. So all my awards is about to go to foreign player, in a sense, right? But it's going to go to someone other than me. And I'm supposed to come in the playoffs and think about team success. Get the fuck out.
And we still might fall.
So that's the conversation I want to have. And it really was such an interesting conversation on the pod last night, and I wanna have it with y'all on this platform. Did the 76ers ruin Joel Embiid? Did the 76ers ruin Joel Embiid? So let's go ahead and go to Joel Embiid's page real quick and just recap his career so far, just from a games played perspective. Gets drafted in 2014, misses the first 2 seasons of his career, right? In 2017, his rookie season, he I don't even think he didn't win Rookie of the Year. Was on heavy minutes restrictions. Only played 31 games. But the world knew how much of a beast Joel Embiid was within those 31 games. I remember this was, ironically, I think this was the story of his career. This has been the story of his career. Bro, Embiid, when healthy, might be like an award cheat code. You know what I'm saying? But that year, I think Malcolm Brogdon won it. Just because Malcolm Brogdon played like 78 games and was averaging like 13 points a game. But because Joel Embiid, even though he was the clear best rookie of that class, now mind you, him being 22 years old also has a factor in that, but it is what it is. Despite him being the clear best player within this qualification, because he barely played enough games, now he's chopped. But 2018, that's a full season right there, 63 games. 2019, full season, 64 games. 2020, I believe the season capped off at 70 games. Still missed 20 games right there. 2021, same thing. Still missed 20 games right there. 2022, his healthiest season. Still missed 14 games. 2023, his second healthiest season. Still missed 16 games. And here we are. And with Joel Embiid having the best season of his career, he might have the least amount of games played since his rookie season, where he played 31 games, if he is out for the season. That is so unfortunate. And every time I see Joel Embiid play on the court, I always ask myself, like, yo, is this just how Joel Embiid moves? Or is this because he's fucking injured? Like, he looks like he always. I don't know the last time I saw Joel Embiid and looked at him and said, yo, this is a guy playing at full health. I've always asked myself, is this just Joel Embiid at full health? Or does Joel Embiid just play injured all the goddamn time? And I just find it interesting, too, because there's been so much pressure, and even with Gil's take, there's been so much blame put on the 65-game rule for Joel Embiid's injury, when in any other scenario, we would hold the front office and the medical staff of that said team for not managing their players and telling them to shut it down, even if it is just for a night, to shut it down, because this is going to affect your long-term career, and you should not be playing out there when this is going to affect your career in the long run just for this season. The perfect and the biggest example in my head, because I lived through it and I've seen the conversations live, was Isaiah Thomas. Isaiah Thomas in 2017 led the Boston Celtics to a number 1 seed. I believe he had an injury that originally started late in the season, but throughout the playoffs, and especially with what the fuck happened in that playoffs, how grueling of a playoffs that was for the Celtics, shit just got worse and worse and worse. And by the time the ECF rolled around, Isaiah Thomas's hip was fucked up. He didn't even play. I think he only played 2 games, but it was clear those 2 games he was injured as shit. You know what I'm saying? He then gets traded from the Celtics to the Cavs. It was clear by the time he was in Cleveland that this is not the same Isaiah Thomas, and he was never the same after that. And the conversation with Isaiah Thomas was, yo, the Celtics ruined Isaiah Thomas's career because in that season, they should have shut him down. He should still be an all-star caliber player if they just shut him down, gave him the proper treatment, and even if it wasn't with the Boston Celtics the following seasons, even if he still got traded, he should have been way more effective than what he was. The Celtics should have been transparent with Isaiah Thomas, and they should have shut him down because it was for the betterment of his career. But I find it interesting with Joel Embiid, and I think it's primarily because, again, we're just so used to Joel Embiid being injured, coming into the league, and missing 2 seasons, that same energy is not kept with the Philadelphia 76ers and their medical staff. Because fuck going all the way back here. Because I'm going to be honest, all of this shit is just blurred to me. I vividly remember in 2021, when they were playing the Hawks, Joel Embiid was injured. Let's look it up right now. Joel Embiid versus Hawks injury 2021. 2021. What is that? ECF? Oh, no. Semifinals. Second round. So this is in 2021. Embiid tore his meniscus on the same knee during the first round of the playoffs back in 2021. His ability to be at 100% is definitely going to be compromised, Kevin Friedman, a sports medicine surgeon for the Rothman Orthopedic Institute, said. Okay. One day, hold on. Let me turn off ad blocker real quick. Boom. Let's see. Embiid's knee sprain that forced him to sit out Game 4 against Brooklyn in May. Keep him sidelined to start the Sixers' second round, likely against the division rival Boston Celtics. What is this, 2022? 2023? This is 2023. Oh, this is 2023. But I believe this is where they mentioned in 20. Okay, here we go. Damn, so many fucking injuries. But here it is right here. CBS News Philadelphia, right? He tore his meniscus in the first round of the playoffs in 2021. He then played up until the second round where they got eliminated by the Hawks. That's 2021. Ladies and gentlemen, that was 3 years ago. That was 3 years ago. This last season, which is what was mentioned here, he suffered a knee sprain in the first round against Brooklyn. He sat, I believe, the first 2 games of the series against the Celtics, but it was very, very clear from anyone who watched that series that Joel Embiid was playing injured once again. So that's 2 instances of the 76ers feeling like they have such a shot to win a championship that they are jeopardizing their franchise player by making him play through an injury. Specifically, knee injuries when he came into the league with knee problems. And that is what they decide to do. And even with this last thing with the Warriors, right? Even if Embiid said, yo, I want to play. Going back to the Isaiah Thomas shit, I'm pretty sure, and I would love to be proven wrong with this, it was sort of like a mutual, it wasn't just a like the medical staff in Boston didn't just tell Isaiah Thomas, yo, go out there and play, right? In the playoffs specifically, there was a part of Isaiah Thomas that wanted to keep pushing. Bro, we're in the Eastern Conference Finals. Bro, we got a chance to go to the finals. Bro, I got a chance to lead this team to the fucking finals and possibly win a championship. I'm going to keep pushing. But we still held the Boston Celtics accountable for not telling Isaiah Thomas to shut it down, even though Isaiah Thomas didn't want to shut it down. So with Joel Embiid, it's the same thing. I don't give a fuck if Joel Embiid wants to play against the Warriors. If he is not supposed to be out there, you shut him down. You shut him down, bro. So, while initially going into this conversation, I wanted to give the 76ers as much of a benefit of a doubt. Because, correlation doesn't necessarily equal causation. You know what I'm saying? Joel Embiid did come into the league injured. They could have done the right procedures. Bro just keeps on getting injured. Right? However, the 76ers track record of how they managed Joel Embiid's injuries, just from an outside perspective looking in, that already looks sus. And for Joel Embiid, I legitimately think that it is a miracle how Joel Embiid has suffered all of these injuries throughout his career. And yet he is still able to improve every single year somehow, some way. You can legitimately make a case that from 2020 on, he has somehow improved every single year and has been an MVP runner-up every single year, despite all these injury problems, and has improved every single year in some facet of his game. That is actually insane to me. That is actually insane to me. And hopefully Joel Embiid can properly recover from this injury and still be as dominant as he was next year and the years to come. But boy, is it going to look crazy. Boy, are the 76ers going to look crazy. If one of these years Joel Embiid just comes back and does not look like MVP Embiid whatsoever. He goes from being a 30-point per game scorer, hell, even a 29-point per game scorer, to barely putting up 23 points a game. And the rebounds go from 11 to 12 to 8. It's going to look crazy. And he's still not going to play full seasons because his fucking health is fucked up. That is going to be fucked up. And hopefully that doesn't happen. But motherfuckers gotta, at some point we gotta stop talking about the 65-game rule, because the problem with this team and with Joel Embiid is bigger than the 65-game rule. For real. I'm gonna catch y'all later, man. Follow me on Twitch. I be streaming. Peace.